What's up, ladies and gents? This is KSigKid, coming at you with another Destiny video. Today we've got a great video for you. We've got the top 5 best weapons in Trials of Osiris. That's right, the absolute best, the biggest monsters in Trials, the weapons that you have definitely been killed by. And you know how I know that? Because these weapons, the top 5, have made up 56.8% of the kills in Trials of Osiris for the year 2016. This is all taken from the website Guardian GG. These 5 weapons alone make up 56.8% of the total kills in Trials of Osiris. That is absolutely insane. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what your favorite and least favorite weapons are in the Trials. Let's go ahead and get started taking a look at number 5. So at number 5, we have the Doctrine of Passing, and it's with a little bit of a caveat. So Guardian GG basically breaks it down into the Doctrine of Passing Adept and the standard Doctrine of Passing as far as kills go. But in total, they make up 3.7% of all the kills in Trials of Osiris. And I actually expect that number to rise because relatively recently, we had the Doctrine as the level 7 win drop in Trials. So I imagine a lot more people now have a non-adept version and are probably going to be using it. So why is this bullet hose such a good gun in Trials, or in PvP in general? Basically what I was doing for these clips is I went into PvP last night with just these different weapon loadouts, and I was just trying to get all the clips just to show how cool these guns actually are. And you can see that this gun absolutely melts. If you're getting headshots on your enemy, you're going to be wrecking them. You're absolutely going to be wrecking them. And the cool thing with these Doctrines is that they roll pretty well out of the gate. They roll with persistence, they roll with brace frame, and you have the ability to get counterbalance. Now that's the one thing that I'm actually missing on my Doctrine. I really want to get counterbalance because apparently having counterbalance makes this night and day. I'm rocking out Rodeo, which really doesn't do anything. Counterbalance is really what you want to go for, so if you happen to get a version that has counterbalance, keep it, try it. I really think you're going to like it. I think you're going to like it a whole lot because it's basically like shooting a little mini machine gun. If you're in there in close range, getting headshot kills, there's not much that any enemy is going to be able to do. You're even going to be able to outduel some of the other popular guns that are on this list. So Doctrine of Passing definitely gets a nice pass on my list. I really like auto rifles, and with something like the Doctrine, you're able to put in so many bullets into the enemy. Chances are you're going to be getting a lot of assists, just like I was getting in that clip. But you're also going to be able to win your one-on-one battles, which is something you really, really want. And with that counterbalance, you should be able to hit things at longer range much more easily. So that's number 5. Let's move on to number 4. If you've been killed by a shotgun in Trials of Osiris, chances are it's been a conspiracy theory. 6.39% of Guardians have been killed by this weapon in the Trials. This is basically the shotgun of choice for people that go in, and it's probably because you end up getting a conspiracy theory right from the story mode. And mine has the nice rifle barrel and rangefinder to give it that extra range. So this thing basically has going for it what a lot of shotguns did back in year 1. That extra range, that extra big time one-shot killing potential from a safe distance, or at least a safe enough distance. Now, it's really not the same as a shot package Fellwinter's Lie that we used to have in year 1, but it's something. It's at least something for shotgun users. Now, the thing that I have a problem with, and the reason why I don't really run this gun, is I really don't like that rate of fire. I feel like, basically with this gun, you really need to know your range. You really need to be running around with this gun a lot. You need to become intimately familiar with the range of this gun because you need to know exactly when you can pull the trigger and get that one-shot kill. Because if you don't, you're not going to be getting a follow-up shot. You're not going to be able to easily get a follow-up shot, and that means you're dead. And since I like to switch my loadout so often, I just don't have the familiarity with this gun. This is the most that I was ever actually running around with a conspiracy theory. So it was a little bit trickier for me. I imagine if you really want to play with a shotgun and you want to get those one-hit kills, you should definitely equip this gun and use it. Use it a lot. Use it a lot so that you know exactly when you can pull that trigger and get the kill. Because that's just going to make your life so much easier without that guesswork. And yes, shotgun kills are sometimes a bit finicky. Sometimes it feels like you're able to get a really long range kill, and then sometimes you're like, man, I was right there, I pulled the trigger. Why is that guy not dead? So there does feel like there's a little bit of RNG with it, as far as maybe hitting all your buckshots, stuff like that. But still, this is still a one-hit kill in close range, unless you're like me and you did that. That is just absolutely terrible. Why'd I even keep that part in? But you can see right there, it took me a little bit of time to get my second shot off. I do like things that have a little bit quicker rate of fire, but this thing is still a monster. 6.39% of kills don't lie. Let's move on to number 3. At number 3, we have The Last Word. The Last Word taking up 11.07% of the kills in Trials of Osiris. That's a monster. That is a monster. Double-digit kills in all of Trials of Osiris, just from this little gun alone. So in year 1, despite the popular belief that Thorn was the most broken gun, this was by far the most bugged and broken and quickest killing gun in year 1. By far, not even close. And Bungie actually has now fixed it to where it's not able to do the things that it was, but it's still really good and really surprising and can still hit from a really long range really hard. So Last Word is definitely worthwhile of being a top tier gun, a top 5 gun, easily a top 3 killer in Trials of Osiris. But it's a little tricky to use. For me, even whenever it was completely broken, I wasn't able to use it. So I recently made a video about how to use the Last Word, especially if you're playing with it and you're like, man, this gun is just terrible. I can't get any kills with it. Well, there's a little bit of a secret to how to use it. So go ahead and check out that video that I linked above if you're just using the Last Word and you're like, man, I just can't get it going on. Once you get it going on, you're going to really respect this gun and you're really going to have a lot of fun with it. Because aside from looking cool, aside from being all super stylish, it's a really strong gun, obviously, as you can see. This thing melts people in close. It absolutely melts people in close, and you can see why it's a top tier gun. So, Last Word at number 3. What's number 2? At number 2, we have the Mida multi-tool. And this gun, I'll be honest, I rarely use it. In these clips that we're going to show, this is pretty much the most that I've ever used the multi-tool. My problem with it is you move so fast. You move so fast that it's just a bit unexpected for me. I think for the multi-tool, the first thing you need to do is put this gun on and run around with it just a little bit. Get familiar with how fast you're strafing, how fast you're moving in general, where the cursor lines up, all those kind of things, all those little nuances that are pretty difficult if you just throw it on and just instantly jump into a PvP chaotic nightmare. So for me, this was just basically a learning experience for me. The other big thing is getting headshots. My problem is I aim too low with the multi-tool. You don't want to actually aim at the top of the carrot. That's not the right spot to get headshots. The right spot is actually putting the carrot on top of the opposing guardian's head. That's the sweet spot. That's what you need to do. But you can see every time I'm firing the gun, I'm too low. I'm aiming with the top of my carrot to hit the guardians, and that's a bad thing. But if you happen to put them in the sweet spot, watch what ends up happening. Watch these critical hits just melting that guy. 3 critical hits, I'm watching him come around the corner, and boom, one more shot and he's down. So the multi-tool has a lot of really quick killing potential. You just need to be able to use it right. You need to get that feel for the gun, or you're going to be body-shotting him to death like I did right there. So the multi-tool comes in at number 2 on the list. So despite my inability to use this gun, that is obviously not the popular opinion. This gun makes up 11.83% of Trials of Osiris kills. People love it, and it makes sense why. In Trials of Osiris, you want to stay safe, and this gun has long range. You can stay back, stay safe. If you're getting those headshots, you're going to be melting the enemies while you're safe. So obviously, it makes a lot of sense why this gun is up there at number 2, getting tons and tons of kills. But number 1 gun is coming up next, and this number 1 gun is an absolute monster. Let's see what it is. At number 1, we've got the Thousand-Yard Stare. Thousand-Yard Stare making up 23.81% of Trials of Osiris kills. If there was a reason why the special ammo got changed, you're looking at it right now. 23.81% of Trials kills just from this one singular gun. Absolutely insane. Now, there's a couple reasons for that. Just like we were talking about with the multi-tool, this gun lets you sit back and stay safe. It lets you one-shot an enemy guardian. One shot and they're down. How can you pass that up? I mean, you can't blame people for using sniper rifles. With one shot, whether it's skilled or lucky, one shot the enemy's down, you have a huge advantage in trials. It only makes sense why snipers are so insanely overpowered in Trials of Osiris. There's really nothing you can do if you're going up against supreme snipers. They know the angles, they know the lanes, they know the head glitches, they know how to res snipe, which is another really popular reason why the 1000-yard stare is up there, because it can res snipe. It has that sweet impact spot that you can res snipe. And another reason why this gun is just used everywhere is because everybody has it. Much like the conspiracy theory, this gun can be picked up just from playing the story, from playing the Taken King. You get a 1000-yard stare. And as long as you've got this short gaze, that's pretty much the only thing people really truly care about. Everything else is just a little bit of an extra bonus. Now, of course, I say that because I like short gaze, and that's pretty much the popular scope, but you might have a different preference. A lot of people do like the ambush scope. A lot of people like the really long range scope. For me, I do like the shorter range, but again, that is a personal preference. But a lot of people have this gun. Pretty much everybody has it, unless for some reason you dismantled it. You're going to see this gun everywhere. Again, the ability to one-shot kill an enemy guardian is just too tempting to pass up. Right here, one trigger pull and this guy's down, and me and my buddy can go ahead and rush. So 1000-yard stare, the unquestioned, unmitigated monster in Trials of Osiris. More than the last word and Mida multi-tool combined in kills. This gun is a beast. And like I said, if you hate the special ammo changes, you can pretty much blame this gun. You can pretty much blame this gun, because if Guardian GG has this information about how many kills sniper rifles are getting, then obviously Bungie has it. Bungie's running the analytics, they're looking, they're saying, holy crap, nearly a quarter of our Guardians are getting killed by one gun. And it's not because this gun is just overpowered or anything like that, it's just because the potential of sniper rifles is so great in a game mode like Trials. So anyway, guys and gals, were there any surprises on this list? What would be your top 5? If you enjoyed this video, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, your PvP, and I'll see you around in Destiny. Are you staring at me?